Our planet is changing. The climate is warming at an alarming rate. This is not a distant threat. It is happening now. The consequences are severe. We see them everywhere. From melting ice caps to extreme weather events, the signs are undeniable. We must act now. Time is running out. We're at a critical crossroads. We have a choice to make. Continue on our current path or take action and protect our planet. The future of life on Earth depends on the decisions we make today. The Earth's climate has always changed naturally, but what we're experiencing now is different. It is happening much faster. Human activities are the main cause. When we burn fossil fuels, we release greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. These gases trap heat, causing the planet to warm. Think of it like a blanket. The thicker the blanket of greenhouse gases, the warmer the Earth gets. This warming effect is disrupting the delicate balance of our planet's climate system. The consequences are far-reaching and impact every corner of our globe. As greenhouse gases increase, the Earth's temperature rises. This warming trend is already having a significant impact. We are experiencing hotter summers and milder winters in many parts of the world. Heat waves are becoming more frequent and intense. These rising temperatures have serious consequences. They contribute to more frequent and intense wildfires. They exacerbate drought conditions, making it difficult to grow food. The heat also poses significant risks to human health, especially for the elderly and vulnerable. One of the most visible impacts of climate change is the melting of glaciers and ice sheets. In the Arctic and Antarctic, vast amounts of ice are disappearing at an alarming rate. This melting ice contributes to rising sea levels. As sea levels rise, coastal communities face an uncertain future. Millions of people live in low-lying areas that are vulnerable to flooding. Rising seas also threaten vital infrastructure, including homes, businesses, and transportation systems. Section 5, Extreme Weather, a New Normal. Climate change is also making our weather more extreme. We are seeing more intense hurricanes, floods, and droughts. These extreme weather events are becoming more frequent and destructive. These events have devastating consequences. They cause widespread damage, displace communities, and result in loss of life. The economic costs of extreme weather are also significant as we rebuild and recover from these disasters. Section 6, Nature in Distress Impacts on Wildlife. Climate change is not just affecting humans. It is having a profound impact on the natural world, altering ecosystems and threatening the survival of countless species. It is having a profound impact on the natural world. The delicate balance of ecosystems is being disrupted, leading to a cascade of effects that ripple through the environment. Plants and animals are struggling to adapt to the rapidly changing conditions, and many are finding it increasingly difficult to survive. Plants and animals are struggling to adapt to the rapidly changing conditions. As temperatures rise, weather patterns shift, and habitats are altered, species are forced to migrate, change their behaviors, or face extinction. This struggle for survival is evident across the globe, from the polar bears in the Arctic to the elephants in Africa. Many species are at risk of extinction. The International Union for Conservation of Nature, IUCN, has reported that nearly 1 million species are currently threatened with extinction, a number that is expected to rise as climate change continues to accelerate. This loss of biodiversity not only affects the species themselves, but also the ecosystems they inhabit and the services they provide to humans. For example, coral reefs, often called the rainforests of the sea, are highly vulnerable to warming ocean temperatures. These vibrant underwater ecosystems are home to a quarter of all marine species and provide critical services such as coastal protection, food, and tourism revenue. As temperatures rise, corals expel the algae that live inside them, causing them to bleach and die. This process, known as coral bleaching, has become increasingly common and severe in recent years. Without the algae, corals lose their color and their primary source of energy, leading to widespread coral mortality. This loss of coral reefs has devastating consequences for marine ecosystems and the millions of people who depend on them. Coral reefs support a vast array of marine life, and their decline can lead to the collapse of entire marine ecosystems. Additionally, many coastal communities rely on coral reefs for their livelihoods, whether through fishing, tourism, or coastal protection. The loss of these vital ecosystems threatens food security, economic stability, and the overall health of our oceans. Beyond coral reefs, other ecosystems are also feeling the impacts of climate change. Melting glaciers and ice caps are causing sea levels to rise, threatening coastal habitats and the species that depend on them. Polar bears, for example, are losing their sea ice habitat, which they rely on for hunting seals. As the ice melts, polar bears are forced to travel greater distances and expend more energy to find food, putting their survival at risk. Forests too are under threat. Increased temperatures and changing precipitation patterns are leading to more frequent and severe wildfires, which can devastate large areas of forest and the wildlife that inhabit them. Deforestation driven by human activities such as agriculture and logging further exacerbates the problem by reducing the amount of carbon dioxide that forests can absorb, contributing to the greenhouse effect and climate change. As habitats change, many species are being forced to migrate to new areas in search of suitable conditions. This can lead to conflicts with other species and disrupt existing ecosystems. For example, some bird species are migrating earlier in the year due to warmer temperatures, which can affect their breeding success and the availability of food. Despite these challenges, there are efforts underway to protect wildlife and their habitats. Conservation organizations are working to restore damaged ecosystems, protect endangered species, and mitigate the impacts of climate change. By supporting these efforts and making sustainable choices in our own lives, we can help to preserve the natural world for future generations. While the impacts of climate change on wildlife are profound and far-reaching, there is hope. Through concerted efforts and global cooperation, we can work to mitigate these effects and create a more sustainable future for all living beings. The resilience of nature is remarkable, and with our help, it can continue to thrive despite the challenges it faces.
In Section 7, our shared responsibility. The evidence is clear, climate change is real, it is happening now, and it is caused by human activities. From the melting glaciers and polar ice caps to the rampant deforestation and increasing smog over our cities, the signs are undeniable. Wildfires rage with unprecedented intensity, leaving destruction in their wake. These are not isolated incidents, but interconnected symptoms of a planet in distress. We all have a role to play in addressing this urgent crisis. It is not just the responsibility of governments or large corporations, it is a collective duty that involves each one of us. Community cleanups, tree planting initiatives, and the installation of solar panels are just a few examples of how individuals and groups are stepping up to make a difference. These actions, though seemingly small, contribute to a larger movement towards sustainability and environmental stewardship. It is our shared responsibility to protect our planet for present and future generations. Imagine a world where families can continue to enjoy nature in parks, where children can play freely in green fields, and where elderly couples can take peaceful walks in lush forests. Multi-generational families can bond over gardening, nurturing the earth that sustains us. This vision of a harmonious relationship with nature is within our reach, but it requires concerted effort and commitment from all of us. While it can feel overwhelming, it is important to remember that every action counts. Simple daily habits like recycling, using reusable shopping bags, cycling instead of driving, and turning off lights when not in use can collectively make a significant impact. These small, mindful choices add up, creating a ripple effect that extends far beyond our immediate surroundings. By integrating these practices into our daily lives, we contribute to a culture of sustainability and environmental consciousness. By making changes in our own lives and advocating for change on a larger scale, we can make a difference. Participating in climate change protests, lobbying for stronger environmental policies, and engaging in community meetings on climate action are powerful ways to amplify our impact. These collective efforts send a clear message to policymakers and industry leaders that the time for action is now. Our voices united in purpose can drive systemic changes needed to address the climate crisis. Time for action is now. The urgency of the situation cannot be overstated. As the clock ticks, we are reminded that the window for meaningful action is rapidly closing. Signing petitions, participating in rallies, and advocating for immediate climate action are crucial steps. Together, we can turn the tide and create a sustainable future for generations to come. Let us rise to the challenge, embrace our shared responsibility, determination, and hope.
Section 8. A plan for action, what we can do. There are many things we can do to address climate change. It starts with understanding the impact of our actions and making conscious choices to reduce our carbon footprint. Every small step counts, and collectively, we can make a significant difference. We can reduce our reliance on fossil fuels by transitioning to renewable energy sources like solar and wind power. These sources are not only sustainable, but also abundant and increasingly cost-effective. By investing in renewable energy, we can create a cleaner, healthier environment for future generations. We can improve energy efficiency in our homes, businesses, and transportation systems. Simple actions like switching to energy-efficient LED lights, using smart thermostats, and driving electric vehicles can significantly reduce energy consumption. These changes not only help the environment but also save money on energy bills. We can also make changes in our daily lives to reduce our carbon footprint. Recycling, composting food waste, and using reusable bags and containers are just a few examples. By being mindful of our waste and making sustainable choices, we can reduce the amount of trash that ends up in landfills and oceans. This includes using public transportation, biking, or walking instead of driving alone. Not only does this reduce greenhouse gas emissions, but it also promotes a healthier lifestyle. Cities around the world are investing in better public transit systems and bike lanes to make these options more accessible and convenient. It means reducing our consumption of meat and dairy products, which have a high carbon footprint. Adopting a plant-based diet, even partially, can have a profound impact on reducing greenhouse gas emissions. Supporting local farmers and choosing seasonal produce also helps to lower the environmental impact of our food choices. Engaging in community activities like planting trees, starting a community garden, or participating in neighborhood cleanups can also make a big difference. These activities not only help the environment but also foster a sense of community and shared responsibility. Advocacy and political action are crucial as well. Attending climate change rallies, signing petitions, and voting for leaders who prioritize environmental policies can drive systemic change. Our voices and votes can influence policies that promote sustainability and protect our planet. Education and awareness are key components of this effort. By educating ourselves and others about the importance of sustainability and the impact of climate change, we can inspire more people to take action. Watching documentaries, attending workshops, and teaching children about the environment are all ways to spread knowledge and encourage positive change. Ultimately, addressing climate change requires a collective effort. By working together, sharing ideas, and supporting each other, we can create a sustainable future. Every action, no matter how small, contributes to the larger goal of protecting our planet for generations to come. Section 9. Every action counts. We must remember that every action counts. Even small changes, when multiplied by millions of people, can have a significant impact. By making sustainable choices, we not only reduce our environmental impact, but also inspire others to do the same. We can also support businesses and organizations that are committed to sustainability. By choosing products and services that are environmentally friendly, we send a powerful message to the market that we demand change. Section 10. Our future in our hands. The future of our planet is in our hands. The choices we make today will determine the kind of world we leave behind for future generations. We must act now with urgency and determination to address the climate crisis. Let us be inspired by the beauty and resilience of our planet. Let us work together to create a sustainable future for all. The time for action is now. Our planet depends on it.